I've shared several videos about what male survivors of sexual trauma experience, what's happening on the inside for them. Today, though, I want to talk about something that's rarely discussed, but just as important: what to do if you think a man you love might be a survivor of sexual abuse. In other words, helpful actions you can take if you're on the outside. This is a challenging subject, so it's important to approach it from a place of care and love, not just for the survivor, but also for yourself, the loved one who's trying to support it. Let's start with how you might even get to this point. Maybe you've noticed some behaviors that seem like red flags: fear of intimacy, sudden mood changes, unexplained anger, withdrawal, or a deep sense of shame. Maybe he's mentioned something in passing, a boundary being crossed in childhood, but never really elaborated. Or maybe your gut just tells you something's unresolved. Let me be clear, it is not your job to diagnose your partner or to draw conclusions, but if you're sensing something painful beneath the surface, your intuition might not be wrong. Sexual abuse is far more common than most people realize, especially among men, although it's drastically underreported, and it often stays hidden under years of silence and shame. So if you suspect something, what do? The most important thing is to create emotional safety, and that means showing up with empathy and without pressure. That means being someone who listens, not someone who interrogates. You could say something like, I've noticed you sometimes seem really overwhelmed or distant. I just want you to know that I'm here, and if there's ever anything that you want to talk about, you can trust me. You don't have to carry anything alone. Statements like that open a door, but they do so gently. They don't demand disclosure. It just lets him know you're safe with me. Survivors often carry deep fears that if they share what happened, they're going to be seen as weak, broken, or unlovable, and that's especially true for men who've been raised in cultures that say, man up, don't cry, or worse, real men don't get hurt like that. So being emotionally safe means reassuring your loved one through actions and words that you see him, you accept him, and you're not going anywhere. If he is a survivor, you might never hear the full story, and that's okay. What matters is recognizing that trauma can shape a man's emotional life in very complex ways. Sexual abuse can lead to intimacy struggles, difficulty trusting other people, depression, anxiety, substance use, body shame, eating disorders, and of course, guilt, even though the survivor is never at fault. Understanding this helps you see his behaviors in a new light, not as rejection or coldness, but possibly as protective mechanisms built over the years. And that shift in your perspective can be extremely powerful. It helps you respond with compassion instead of frustration, with patience instead of fear. But here's the hard part. You can't heal this for him. You can support him, you can love him, you can walk beside him, but the work of healing is personal. And that's why therapy, especially trauma-informed therapy, can be so important. It gives survivors a place to explore what happened, how it shaped them, and how to reclaim their lives. But therapy has to be his choice. Don't push, don't pressure. You could say, if you ever wanted to talk to someone professionally, I'd support you completely. I could help find someone, or even go with you if that helps, and then leave it there. The goal isn't to fix him. It's to support him in choosing healing for himself in his time. Supporting someone with unresolved trauma can be emotionally exhausting. You might feel helpless, you might feel frustrated, confused, even hurt, and all that's valid. It's okay to seek your own support, whether that's through therapy, trusted friends, or support groups for partners of survivors. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish, it's essential. You cannot pour anything from an empty cup. In fact, when you take care of yourself, you're modeling something that's very powerful, that it's okay to seek help, that healing is not weakness, and that love can hold pain and still survive. I want to end with this. If your partner is a survivor, your love won't erase what happened, but it can be a light in the darkness for him, a steady presence, a reminder that he's not broken, that he's not alone. Being there for him is a quiet kind of courage, but it's a long game. Healing takes time. There may be moments of distance, there may be confusion, emotional storms even, but with patience and mutual care, there can also be moments of deep connection and healing. So if you're walking down this path, you're not alone either, and what you're doing Being a safe person, a gentle voice, a patient heart matters so much more than you will ever know.